Good morning, YouTube. Appreciate you guys. Sorry, a little late this morning, so I'm definitely gonna waste a lot of time. Appreciate you guys joining me this week for the Solid Sports Video Blog. This is episode 337. Today's date is July 23rd, 2026. I'm Troy Westside. Thank you guys for joining me this morning. Um, like I said, it's a slow sports. We in the middle of the summer, so basically it's baseball only thing going on. NFL's ramping up, NBA, a lot of moves. Speaking of the NBA, you see LeBron James is on the thumbnail. Like I said, part of me is tired of talking about LeBron, but LeBron is LeBron. He's always in the sports news all year round. So we'll touch on the latest with that. The Heat's mistake of leaking possibly a press conference that he was going to come there. I get into all that. Baseball, Red Sox 15-game winning streak is over. Um, but they lost. They lost a doubleheader last night to the Orioles here. Well, I think they playing in Boston. But anyway, uh, the winning streak is over. We'll talk a little bit about them. Look at the current playoff picture. Um, and NFL roundabout series. This is our final week, our final day actually of it. The champion Seahawks are up today, so I'll talk about them later in a short. But I will also just touch on the NFC West period. Then we're gonna start getting in the preseason and everything else, predictions, all that stuff. Touch on some other NFL news as well. I'll give my small take on the WNBA. I think they about to go into the All-Star break. I'll get my thoughts on them and look back at the World Cup as well. So, like I said, honestly, I was just late this morning because I couldn't get up. I was just fighting my sleep. Um, like I said, sometimes I have rough time sleeping, so I got an extra hour of sleep basically. But I'm ready to go. Like I said, hopefully we don't. Well, probably don't be on that long if I get through all the topics pretty quickly. But I appreciate you guys for the support. Appreciate you guys. We're at 504 as far as our subscriber count. I'm starting to feel that we're gonna stay with 500. So um, I might plan something maybe Saturday. Maybe we'll do a special stream or something. Um, that we'll look back on over the years with how we got here, things of that nature. Just a little small little celebration. Still not monetized yet. That's the next goal. Still got a long way to go for that, but appreciate you guys being here. Uh, so let's get into the MLB. I mentioned the Boston Red Sox 15-game winning streak. Well, it was 14 going into yesterday. They won the opening game in a doubleheader against the Orioles, and then lost the second game, so their streak ended at 15. But still remarkable. Was dead in the water. You saw the fact, like if you saw some highlights of the Red Sox early in the season, or about a month ago, fans were just coming in. The Red Sox got a strong Boston period. As you know, got a strong fan base, so they're gonna come to the games anyway. But they doing the wave and all that in the middle of games. Red Sox losing, all types of things. But they turned it on, turned their season around right there. They might be a wild card team right now. We're going to look at the wild card standings. We're going to start looking at that since we're in the second half of the season. But they third in the division, 7 games out. Not, yeah, a lot, but not impossible to dig out that hole. But impressive run. Uh, we'll see if they can keep it up. At least stay consistent and win, and stay in the hunt to make the playoffs. Uh, but speaking of the American League East, Tampa Bay is still your division leader. They have a 2.5 game lead with the New York Yankees. Yankees still hanging in there without Judge. I don't think he's going to be back. I think still for another month, I believe they were saying. So um, they is second. Boston the third, what I just mentioned. Orioles, I mentioned them. They stopped the winning streak of the Sox, but still 3 under and 10 games out of the division. And the Toronto Blue Jays, 10 under, not playing well this year so far. defending AL champions, defending AL pennant winners. They in last place in the division. Central, pretty tight. White Sox just a game lead over the Cleveland Guardians. That's what like it's gonna be those two teams. Minnesota, 5 out, but they 3 under. Detroit quietly been playing a little better, but still 6.5 out. And Kansas City, 12 back in last place. In the West, Texas, um, they have a half game lead over Seattle, so they in the virtual tie. Houston, they 4 under, but they only 2 out. Everybody else is some cushion. Oakland A's 8 back, but they 16 under, and uh, the LA Angels 22, 21 under and 10.5 out of the division. Go to the East. Atlanta Braves, they gave the game last night. Get a full game cushion over the Phillies. Phillies been unbelievable. They played well as well. And the crazy thing is, Boston, of course, they fired Alex Cora. Um, and Philadelphia fired their manager. Who was their manager? I forgot who they met, but they both fired their manager, and then the seasons got flipped, turned around. So I guess management knows something that we don't. 'Cause sometimes we go the other way. Sometimes you even just never get out the hole. But both of them teams had, so congratulations to both. I'm nervous now as a Braves fan, at least for the division. I think we'll still make the playoffs, but I think the Phillies ain't going nowhere. Miami Marlins is second. I mean third, 8 out, a game over. Washington tied with them, a game over 500, both 8 games out. And the Mets, their disastrous season continues. 17 under and 17 games out of first place. Milwaukee Brewers continue to quietly have another monster season. 7 clear under Chicago Cubs. Cubs with a decent record as well. This by record, the Central in the National League. Best all the teams except for Cincinnati over 500. St. Louis 11 back. So it is Pittsburgh, and then you got the Reds. They are 7 under 500, but Pittsburgh is 3 over. St. Louis is 3 over. And the Cubs are 12 over, and then the Brewers with 64 wins, second in the National League, behind the Los Angeles Dodgers, who I think until they lose, that's the team I picked to win the World Series again, which would be sort of historic, and to be their third straight. Yankees was the last team to do that, of course, in the late 90s. I think it's a chance for them to do that. Excuse me. Uh, Arizona, 11 and a half out, but they are 4 games over. Then the Padres, 2 under, 14 and a half out. And then it's the Giants, 22 and a half out, 18 under. And the Rockies, 22 games under and 24 and a half out of first place. So now let's look at the wild card, which is probably wild, as you could, the pun intended. Probably a lot of teams still alive for that. American League, Yankees plus 4.5. Then you got the Indians plus 1. Boston, like I said, is that last wild card team. But then Seattle's only 2 back. Baltimore 3, Minnesota 3, Houston 3.5, Detroit 4.5. Toronto spiked their record 6.5. A's 9.5. Kansas City 10. LA Angels at 12. So National League, Cubs plus 4, then Philadelphia plus 2.5, then Arizona got the last one. Then it's really bunched up in the National League. St. Louis and Pittsburgh only a half game back. Then you got the Marlins and the Nationals, they 1.5. Then San Diego 3, Cincinnati Reds 5.5, and then everybody else is 10 back. Mets, Giants, and Rockies, which you pretty much dismissed them, and they over. They season's over to me. So that's it. The baseball. I know I don't have a lot of baseball fans here, but I'm a baseball fan, so I get my baseball in me before I talk anything else. What's up, Slake, man? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. It's been a long time, man. Hope you're doing well, bro. Thank you for coming in real quick. Now I'm just gonna move on to the NBA. LeBron. Like I said, I'm sort of tired of this, man. I mean, I'm not rushing him. I mean, he's going to a year 24. LeBron has done everything he's done. He deserves to take his time, but I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of all the rumors now. The Miami Heat. Now I don't know what happened here. Um, Everybody got their conspiracies saying it was a setup, um, but they made a mistake and said a live on YouTube that LeBron was going to have an industrial press conference. Um, so to me, the only way I look at that part is it's like he's had to tell them something. I mean, he probably haven't signed anything yet, obviously, but I mean, for Miami to, have this set up, like, has he told them he was coming there, or say I might come there, or basically y'all in the front, I'm looking at y'all more than everybody else. Maybe that's what happened, and they was trying to put something together. I don't know. It's just hard for me to believe you made that mistake. Like I'm on YouTube, and uh, you got to do a whole lot before you get to the button to press to set up a live. Like this live, I preset this live for 11 o'clock. Um, you gotta like, it's so much you gotta do. It ain't like it's one button and then you set the live, because you don't have to set a live. Usually you just go live. If you don't want to set the live, you just go live when you want to. You don't really have to set a time for the live. So that's a little shaky to me. Somebody messed up. I don't know. Like I said, that's why I can understand the conspiracies. But with that being said, let's just say, like I said, I already broke down everywhere he's going to go. I think it's either Miami or Cleveland for me. I mean, LeBron usually do what he wants to do. I don't think Golden State's an option, even though they've been doing the most talking. Draymond came out and said a lot. Steph has endorsed it as well. But I just don't, like, far as legacy wise, like I said, I eliminated Golden State because you can't go there. And even if, like I said, even if he wins, you and Steph will still have. I think he would have to pass Steph. I think that would help his legacy because Steph was his biggest rival. So if he passes Steph, I think that helps him. So, but to go and help him win another one, I don't see that happening the way LeBron has been his whole career. But he could flip it, and just like the rumors with Anthony Davis, even though Washington shot that down. Um, we'll see. I don't. I mean, but I give it a little chance. I put it that way. Philadelphia, I don't see at all because I think LeBron don't want. Basically, LeBron will just be a glorified point guard. Like he's not going to be an option on offense at all. Like I think they would just have him run the offense. Because Jalen Brown, Embiid, if he's healthy, and Maxey, they're going to get the ball before LeBron. At least they should. And then I like Edgecombe. They might, him and Edgecombe might be on the same level for his shots, but I don't think you want to do that. I think his role will be really insignificant to him. So that's why I say no Philadelphia. All the other teams that's been thrown out there, Houston, Minnesota, um, the Spurs, I don't take those three serious at all. Um, then there's the rumor that he wanna have some way to play golf, so that definitely eliminates Minnesota. That eliminates Philadelphia right there. So Cleveland, even though Cleveland is a cold weather city as well, but he's from Cleveland. I can see him going. I think Cleveland makes the most sense. Miami, because he's been there. Um, that's the two I'm really looking that he's going to choose. But LeBron has done crazier things before, so we'll see what he decides to do. But yeah, that press conference getting leaked. It was leaked for Monday, so I want to see by the weekend does he make a decision or not. And now it's gonna be interesting if he choose, like if he was about to choose Miami, was that a deal breaker? Like, dang, now I can't go there because all this conspiracy stuff is going to happen. Um, I've heard it's a gambling thing. Maybe it's probably, I'm imagining you could probably bet where LeBron's going to go, and maybe somebody put that out there to throw you off or to have people bet more on Miami, and he goes somewhere else. You know what I mean? Or it could be the other way around. So I don't like I said, it's true. That's just life. It's true. That might be true, but I don't want to get into that because we don't really know. But that is kind of it does smells. I don't understand how you can make that big mistake like that. Um, all right, so that's my take on it. Like I said, the Miami thing made me think, but now, like I said, I think Cleveland would be my first choice. If I had to record, I say Cleveland, Miami, Philly, Golden State. I would still put Philly over Golden State because, like I said, even though he have a bigger role with the Warriors, I'll put Philly over them just because it's in the East, and they will probably be a title contender if he joins. Even if he don't join, if they stay healthy, they're gonna be there. So a chance to win. So even though he said he don't care, he ain't chasing rings and he don't care about the money. Um, the ring thing, yeah. I mean, you're not playing just to, you know. And then LeBron, LeBron likes attention as you know. That's why I say Cleveland because if this is last year, even though somebody said he might play 2 years, I want to see what if his card is going to be a 1 year deal or 2 year deal, or maybe a 1 year with a player option. I want to see how his contract look, but um, so we'll see. But I think Cleveland makes the most sense for him. Um, let's see. I think there's some other news I wanted to touch on. Let's see. Not really much to talk about. I followed the summer league a little bit. I think it is over now. But once all the top players, once they got their feet wet, most of the teams sat them down, which is smart. You don't want them getting hurt during those summer league. So like the Bonza, he got sat down. I think they shut down Darian Peterson early. The Caleb kid in Chicago. I like him. Um, I think my man Caper, shout out to you. I think you should be excited about your Bulls. That kid is going to be good, I believe. A really, really deep draft class. It's not nobody that's going to be like, and nobody that really stands clearly out in front of everybody else, but it's just a lot of talent in this draft. So I think it's going to make the league a lot more better. Um, Maybe if these guys develop in the next 2 years, because we're going to need them on that USA team. Um, or I don't think we're going to win the gold. So at least we got a lot of Americans in this draft. So uh, this year is going to be interesting, nevertheless. We'll talk more about it. But yeah, LeBron, he's going to take his time. This is to give more attention. This Heat thing that happened um, got keeps him in the news as well. So, but like I said, I think he's going to go to Cleveland. That's my opinion, but I could be wrong. But we'll see what happens with it. But I'm tired of talking about it. I just wish, either people stop talking about it or he go ahead and just make his decision. But he's going to take his time so he can stay in the news, get a little bit of attention. That's what he going to do. You know how LeBron. That's what they guarantee LeBron. He likes the attention. So anything that's going to be a big splash, that's what you probably should lean on as well. All right, so that's it with the NBA, and we rolling. We only not even 20 minutes into the live. NFL. Thank you guys. Like I said, another year of the roundabout series. We're pretty much done. One team to go, the Seattle Seahawks. I will do a video on them later. Check out my shorts. They pretty much all lined up right now. So if you just go to my shorts page right here on the channel, you can see all 31 teams, but we got one team to go. The Seattle Seahawks, the defending champion. I get my deeper thoughts on them today. But just to look at this division, the NFC West, period. Arizona Cardinals, um, pretty much, we'll see what happened with Jacoby Brissett. Um, but he's labeled to be your starter. Got some talent, Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr. Let's see if those two guys get a lot better this year. Got some talent. Not sleeper. Not a basement team, as you say, even though they might be in the basement in this division, but they're gonna challenge some teams throughout the year, but just in a strong division. So I think I don't think they're gonna do much this year, um, but I think they'd be competitive. Basically, that's all I'm saying. L.A. Rams, we already know what they did. Basically, Super Bowl or bust for them. Traded for Miles Garrett. Rumors that Aaron Donald might come out retirement. Um, Stafford, can he stay healthy? If he does, that receiver core, Puka Nacua, need to stay out of a little bit of trouble. I think something else came up about him this week in another lawsuit or something. So um, he stay out of trouble. But if he's on the field, him and Devontae, they gonna do what they do. Um, but unless injuries take them down, they're gonna be right there at the end again. They're just too talented. Um, San Francisco 49ers, you can sort of say the same thing to a lesser degree. Brock Purdy, we'll see if he stays healthy all year long. Christian McCaffrey as well, knock on wood, because he didn't hurt much last year, so he's sort of due for an injury. Hopefully, he doesn't. The Brandon Ayuk situation, I think the Niners are past that. I don't think they're going to show him any attention at all. Um, but it's still unfortunate. But they still got some talented receivers there, Jennings, and there's been rumors they might bring Debo back. I don't know if they're going to do that, um, but we'll see about that. Hey, Rolanda, good morning. How you doing? Um, we'll see if the Niners stay healthy. If they do, they're going to be in the playoff mix as well. Uh, who we got? Who we talked about yesterday? I always get these. Oh no, the Seahawks. That's the last team to talk about. And like I said, I'm gonna do a video of Seattle today. Um, some people still don't believe in Sam Darnold, even though he did what he did, won the Super Bowl. Some people think now he might take a step back. I'm not going to say that. I think he's still going to play pretty well. I think the Seattle defense is going to have to be the strong suit though this year more. Um, Jackson Smith and Jigma, can he get better as a young player? Um, they lost Kenneth Walker, which I don't think is a big loss. I think it's a big loss for the locker room, but I think he could be replaced. Obviously, he's a running back. So, but defensively, I think that's where Seattle's going to put their hat on again. Um, Sam, I probably just be asked to make a few throws here and there, just like last year. I think they're going to still be right there again. Um, but I think this division is up for grabs. The Rams, which I just mentioned them. It's going to be a tough. I think San Francisco will have something to say about it. Just like last year. Last year, all three teams was right there, like with 2 or 3 games left to win that division and the one seed, and that was pretty much a difference. Seattle was at home, had home field. They wound up getting to the Super Bowl and winning. So I think it's going to be similar to that. Long as all three teams stay healthy. But the Rams, what they done on paper, man. But this happens in sports all the time. You put together these high talented teams, but something goes wrong and it doesn't work out. So other than that, the Rams got to be a favorite. You just can't. They just got the best team on paper. Um, so that's all with the NFC West. Like I said, stay tuned today. I do a video specifically about the Seattle Seahawks, and they will be done with the roundabout series this year. 8 weeks, and it was great. It was fun. I like doing it, and we'll do it again next year. And I'll make my predictions as we get closer to the season. Um, no other real news. Um, in the no other real news in the NFL. I ain't gonna. All other stuff is small stuff. I'll touch on the Scatterboo situation then for the Giants. Yeah, the emoji. I did that through Google Pictures. You can do all this crazy stuff with Google Pictures now. So every month I change it. So that's a real picture of me. They took a real picture of me and came up with that. So Only thing that's inaccurate, if you look closer, like I don't have tattoos all the way up my arm, all the way up my arms, but that outfit and everything is legit. Like I actually have, that's actually one of my outfits. So yeah, it's designed to look like me, but so I change it every month. So you'll see another one next month as well. But yeah, I did that through Google Pictures. You could do this, AI and all this other crap. So I was like, oh, that's cool to have a, that's basically that's like my logo for my channel. So yeah, that's a real picture of me. They just made it that way, cartooned it like that. Um, yeah, but that's it, man. I really don't. I touched on all the topics I wanted to touch on. I'm sorry I was late this morning. Like I said, I just had to crawl out of bed. Uh, I'm gonna touch on a little bit. Well, World Cup, yeah, World Cup. What a World Cup it was. I'm not a real big soccer fan, but this was a great World Cup. Congratulations to Spain. They won the whole thing, beating Argentina. England, France was very impressive as well. Um, those four top teams was definitely um, the four top teams for sure. United States, of course, they was gone weeks ago, but they had a run. Hopefully, like I said, in the future, we get more soccer players here, so we can start being in that elite group. It's gonna take a generation maybe, but I think it can happen. Um, oh yeah, I was about to touch on the Scatterboo thing. I would get straight to the point. I think he's dumb. I don't, you coming off a leg injury, you can't be doing that type of stuff, especially in public. Like, if you're gonna do it, at least don't let people see what you're doing. Um, but the Giants, to me, with Jackson Dart, some of the stuff even though his stuff is more political, um, he didn't really do nothing crazy. Um, but the Giants gonna be interesting because John Harbaugh, like I say, I know him. He was the Ravens coach for what, almost 20 years. Real calm demeanor, but he's used to. I mean, we had young guys before, obviously, but he used to a lot of veterans. Lamar, he had Lamar when he was young, obviously. So, but I don't know. It's like the team seems like it don't match his demeanor right now. So we'll see if that change. I think he'll get everything straight by the season. The Giants, like I said, two teams to look at that might be a surprise this year. The New York Giants, um, in the East, because the East is sort of, it's not weak, but it's weaker because Philadelphia. We'll see what they do this year. You never can trust Dallas. The Commanders got some things going on, so the Giants can sneak in there this year, and the Saints in the South. The South, same thing. Tampa, sort of living in Atlanta. You can't really trust Carolina. They all right, but they're not a world beater. So the Saints, if the kid quarterback plays well, you can see the Saints being a surprise. Now AFC, really, no teams really stick out to me as a surprise because most teams are sort of established. I don't see like a real dark horse in the AFC. If I had to pick one, I would say Tennessee. If Cam Ward take his second step, because the South to me is not that scary, even though Jacksonville and Houston are perennial. The Colts ain't established. The East, like I said, I don't see the Jets in Miami. I think they really rebuilding. We go north. Maybe you could say the Browns if Watson turns back to what he used to turn back into. But there's no real sleeper in the AFC. But I think the Saints and the Giants in the NFC could be. Wouldn't surprise me if those two teams make the playoffs or even won their division. It wouldn't be a big, huge surprise either. But the AFC to me is a little bit more established. You know who the good team's going to be. You don't see nobody really coming out of nowhere, and winning it. I know some people said Detroit, but Detroit has been, even though they didn't make the playoffs last year, and they was at last place last year. I didn't know Minnesota finished in front of them, but I don't trust. I mean, they've been in the mix. So to me, they won't come out nowhere if they made the playoffs or won that division. Wouldn't be a surprise with them either. So if you want to throw the Lions in there, I guess you can. But okay, I talked about the World Cup. So the WNBA. In fact, let me pull up the page. We can go through the status real quick, but most of the news always come off the court. The Caitlin Clark situation. Yeah, so they're in the All Star break Saturday. Yeah, so they're in the All Star break right now. So that's um, and she got that. Particular Caitlin Clark, she got a 7 technical, so she get another one. She gets a suspension. Um, but just to touch on her real quick, how the league is treating her. I just think, like I said, it might be a little jealousy in there. But I think it's because players that's been in the league, she just comes to the league, get all this attention. She's not a great player yet. She's getting there. But it's players that think that, she got to take her lumps too, and they just try to make sure she get her lumps. I think that's basically what it's all about. All the deeper stuff, the race stuff, could be a little bit of that, but the fans. But I think with the players, I think it's just if it was anybody that came in and got this attention, they'd be getting treated the same way, even if they was black. Um, in my opinion. Now the thing that happened last week with uh, Angel Reese, um, when the coach basically said she is a dangerous species. I heard different takes on it. Now, honestly, when I heard it for the first time, like, whoa, that is sound kind of crazy that she said that. Um, but I've heard coaches and all types of sports say that that's yeah, coaches, players say that um, more often than not. So I was like, okay, well, maybe that's how she meant it. But the coach apologized. Angel came out and said, she accepts the apology. I think, and they did. I mean, they ain't heard more much about it, so they moved on from it. But I just wanted to touch on it, give my thoughts. I don't think it was racist either. I think that was she was just in the heat of the moment. Maybe she was getting a lot of calls. Angel Reese, she's another spearhead in this league that gets a lot of attention when things like that happen or anything happens. Her game, though, some people, question her game, like, questioning the rebounds because she basically missed a lot of shots and then she gets her offensive rebounds and puts them back in. I don't watch her enough to know that, but that's what I'm told, or I hear sometimes. So, uh, but yeah, I'm glad they moved on from that. But the crazy thing is, I think I said this last night on my stream, Wednesday night. Wow, stream. We gonna go live Friday. Um, I mean, I think that unfortunately WNBA need this. They need this, so they need stuff like this to keep them in the float. They most popular ever time, So I think they need stuff like this to happen every once in a while to stay in the news. Honestly, get a debate going. Maybe you draw some eyes because you want to see it for yourself instead of hearing it. So I think that's where the WNBA at right now. So the All Star, they in the All Star break. The All Star game is Saturday. Um, so it's on regular television. So I might check it out if I ain't doing anything Saturday night. So all right, so that's my show for today. I covered all my topics. Thank you, Slink, for coming through, bro. Miss you, man. Like I said, I was maybe we could talk behind the scenes. I just want to catch up. So maybe we could talk behind the scenes. Um, I still see you play Madden. It's Madden season again, man. I was telling somebody the other day when we used to play in them leagues online. That was pretty crazy. I ain't talked to Mel in a while either. Me and Mel joined that league that you had set up. That was it was interesting. It was fun. I remember those times we used to be on Call of Duty together. Um, so I still play Call of Duty. Um, Man, I might get it. I might not get it when it first come out, but I like the college football game also. So I got some. Like I said, I announced it already. I got I got a kid on the way, so I'm trying to save money. So um, if I could catch a sale on it, I might get it. But other than that, I'm gonna have to chill and start stacking this bread so I can be ready for my kid when it comes. But I mean, it was he was a cool brother, and I always appreciated you. Rolanda, thank you for coming through. I know you're always supportive. Maybe we'll talk later. Um, but other than that, guys, that's it. I'm out of here. I told you it wasn't going to be long. Thank you guys so much. Sorry for the lateness this morning, but I think it worked out. Um, Next show, like I said, I'll let you guys know. It might be Tuesday because I know my work schedule is, like I said, it's opened up, but I always like to go live on Thursdays. But if I'm off Thursday, it'll be Thursday. If not, it'll be Tuesday. That's all. So, but you'll know way before then, because I could just check my schedule and let you guys know. So, but all right, y'all. Peace and love, guys. Y'all have a good rest of the week. I'll see you guys tomorrow night for Friday night streams. Um, got two games in mind. I'll make a decision on it. We'll play it Saturday night. Seattle Seahawks video about to go up, and I have a poll for this Sunday night as well. That'll be up later, so you can start voting for that. So that's all. That's it. Peace and love, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. Um, Solid Sports Video Blog episode 337 is in the books. I'm Troy West saying thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for the support. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.